Hello, it's Lion here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to be doing a film review, or well, TV show review. Today we're going to be looking at Wednesday. This was a Netflix show that came out November 23rd, and it quickly became the most watched thing on Netflix during that time period. It's kind of an odd release date because this is more of a Halloween feeling type of show, so I think it would have been better to release it in October, but they released it for the holiday season, and I do think that actually helped a lot during releasing it during the holiday season because, well, a lot of people had more time to watch things, and, well, Wednesday is a really fun show. I do definitely recommend you guys watch it if you enjoy ridiculous kind of high school-esque fantasy shows, because it's pretty fun. It's kind of a magic school setting, but more of a urban fantasy, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's a Netflix show. It's credited to Alfred Gough, I guess, Gough, Miles Miller, and Tim Burton. And the main character is, of course, Wednesday Addams, played by Jenna Ortega. And the show does have a lot of Hispanic, Latin American, Latino kind of vibes to it. At least for the Addams family. Everything else is more of a generic American kind of setting. But it is pretty interesting and pretty fun. The Latino aspect comes from the fact that the Addams family is supposed to be Hispanic, if I remember correctly. At least that's kind of like the things that I'd heard about it. So, yeah, I watched it in Spanish, so I didn't really understand the context of everything necessarily, because sometimes translations into other things, when they're supposed to be like clear, denoted like diction, kind of makes it hard sometimes. I'm not sure if the kids at Nevermore are supposed to be outcasts or weirdos, because in Spanish the wording that was used was more akin to like perturbed children. So that doesn't really make sense, right? But yeah, like I said, it released on November 22nd and 23rd. And I think at this point, it is the first or the most watched show on Netflix ever. However, at the time that I wrote this review, it was the second most watched show on Netflix ever. And maybe it was the second show to ever to be watched in terms of streaming, but I'm not really sure if that's the case. And basically, it starts with Wednesday Addams getting expelled from a regular high school because she released some piranhas on a high school swim team because they bullied her little brother. I think his name in English is Pugsley, but in Spanish he's called Pericles. So I'm not sure what his name is, but she releases piranhas on this pool. She gravely injures some students, and she gets expelled. So her parents, Morticia and Gomez, who in Spanish is called Homer because Gomez is a last name, not a first name, but whatever. We'll take what we can get, so it's fine. But yeah, Morticia and Gomez send her to Nevermore Academy, a high school, private school kind of thing, a private high school kind of thing, where Morticia and Gomez met and went to high school there as children, as teenagers. And it's a school for outcasts. And, well, Wednesday's not very happy with being sent here, because she has this animosity with her parents. I'm not sure why. I think it's one of those, like, teenagers are just going to be shitty to their parents kind of thing, which totally makes sense. And she's very unhappy with it, so she decides to try to leave the school, ends up not being able to, and she also has to go to therapy. So she goes to therapy and eventually meets a boy that's a normal person at a coffee shop, and then from there we kind of unleash the story of the series. And basically, it's a very generic like CW kind of story. It's if you've ever seen any CW fantasy show ever, like mostly the Vampire Diaries stuff, like Legacy specifically, you'll probably know what the heck's going on here. It's a kid that's a chosen one for this specific instance. In this case, Wednesday is the chosen one. There's a mysterious subplot happening. There's a massive battle at the end. There's a lot of cliche, high school drama situations that you might have seen in Glee or in any other high school show that you've ever seen. And the thing is that Wednesday Addams is really the reason why you would watch this show, because the way Jenna Ortega plays her is ridiculously interesting. She has a really rough personality, but eventually she does end up making friends. She topples the school's hierarchy, and she ends up solving a murder mystery with her friends. However, the thing is that she's not hyper competent. Like, she has a lot of abilities and a lot of things that most normal people would probably not have, but she's often wrong, and she's often arrogant, I guess, but in a way that's really endearing and really fun. And I really liked her as a character. I thought it was really, really awesome. It was a hilarious series, even with the translation affecting the comedy bits, because things that are funny in English don't really make sense when you translate the Spanish. But even then, I think it was a really hilarious show, even though I watched it in Spanish. And yeah, Wednesday is a bit of a psycho kind of character, but she's really fun, and she has a really great supporting cast as well. The girl that played Enid, and the telepath guy, and the coffee shop boy, and all of the teachers were really good. I really enjoyed it a lot. It does kind of feel a little bit like Harry Potter in the sense that it has a magic school setting. It does feel like the Vampire Diaries. It does feel like Legacies, and generic just like horror high school series. Like House of Anubis and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a shit ton of tropes, but they're all really well established, really well done. There's also a lot of like film references, like a lot of stuff that happens in Wednesday very much looks almost exactly shot for shot like things that happen in Harry Potter. There's a scene where there's a werewolf, and the werewolf is fighting something, and well, it looks exactly like Prisoner of Azkaban. And that's not really a knock on anything. It's a really well done, really thought out thing, because most people that are probably watching this are probably fans or have at least seen Harry Potter, since Harry Potter is such a massively iconic pulp, pop kind of, what's it called? Pop culture kind of icon. So it makes a lot of sense to kind of play into that, because well, it kind of does feel a little bit like that sometimes. So yeah, I really loved it. I would watch like the series, the show, the season again for sure. I actually kind of want to do that. I've been wanting to do that for a while now, and I'm really looking forward to season 2. I have heard that Amazon might want to pick up season 2 from Netflix, and I don't think that's going to work. I don't think Netflix should do that, but Netflix is not very good at making sure that their series are well thought out. So who knows, right? They might sell it off to try to make some money off of it, but I'm not sure. I don't think that's a good idea. But yeah, what do I know? So yeah, those are my thoughts on Wednesday, the Netflix show about the Addams family. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.